Hi folks, beautiful day in upstate New York. It's been raining for a couple days and now the sun's out. It's nice to get that sun out, start drying stuff up, but I've definitely made a money mess of some areas. So today's video I've talked about making some bunks for piling the wood, right? So you take like those two pines that I took down. I think I got north of 100 2x4s, 30 1x8s or 1x6s I mean. And I got some 12-foot 2x8s, probably a dozen of those, and then numerous 2x6s as well. So when you get that many, just a couple logs, you're going to need a couple bunks, right? So you need to build bunks to store the stuff to let it dry. And then sticker stack it, and then you got to cover it and let it dry. But one of the big things is keeping it off the ground, right, so that you're not close to the ground when you're trying to dry this stuff. So I try to build the bunks up in the air a little bit so that there's flow underneath it as well as through the whole thing. So we're going to go through today just building one of these simple cheap bunks that you can, your scrap wood that you end up with, you can use to do a lot of this stuff. So we'll go through that in today's episode and see what you guys think. Tell me what maybe you have some improvements on the way I build the bunks, or maybe give you guys some ideas on how to build the bunks. Okay, so I got 3 4x4s here. This one here, that is white ash, and then I've got 2 of them that are just white pine, right? So the white pine ones will stay full 4x4s. They will be the length of the bunk. And this white ash one I like to put on the ground, so I'll cut that into 6-inch 4x4s and we'll use that for the base. So there's our scrap wood that we're just going to use to finish up making these. Well, we're just going to make one bunk for today, but we have our chop saw, we have a table saw, and really all we need is the chop saw for what we're doing. But just to show you this area, this is actually my chicken coop area, and what I'm doing now is I'm using this for doing little projects, to build things. So with these benches, I just put some 1x, this is ash, pretty much. I just built a backstop. You just can lift it right up. They're up out of the way. That one on that side can do the same thing, and you can pull something in here if you wanted to. And then when you want to use it, just bring it down. So for the base, we want to use a good hardwood, just because the less, it's slower the rotting of it. So these will be touching the ground. That's all it'll be touching the ground is these 4x4s. So we'll cut 6-inch pieces out of this white ash. So we just got a piece here that had some bark on it. We're going to lop that off. Okay, so I chopped up the 4 pieces of ash that are going to be our base. They are 4x4s. They're 6 inches high, and then we have some 2x4s that are leftover scrap. These are poplar boards. What I'm going to do is cut them into their 2x4s. I'll cut them 6 inches long, and those will go on each side of one of these. So this will be up. You'll put one on each side, screw them in, and then I have 2 boards that were scrap left over that I can get a 30-inch board out of. That'll go between. I'll show you later on in the video how that goes between there. But basically that's all we're going to need besides the 2 4x4s over there. Okay, we have the parts we needed. We cut these two down to 30 inches, and then we cut 8 of the 2x4s down to 6-7 inches. You don't have to be exact, just get it in the ballpark. And then you got 4 of your 4x4s at 6 inches. And then of course you're gonna need some screws, right? And I use these Phillips heads to build with, just because I don't like them, especially for like building a building. Just seems like they strip out a lot easier, so I use them for doing this kind of stuff. They're kind of my junky screws. Those are 3-inch screws, so we'll do that. A lot of this, this is poplar and this is ash, so a lot of times I need to pre-drill it, to get those screws to sink in well. So you might have to take a little time to pre-drill things, but it doesn't take long for you to put one of these together, about a half an hour, and you'll have a bunk. So the next step is done, right? So we put 2x4s on each side of the 4x4, put 3 screws on each side, and we made 4 of them, right? So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to pre-drill some holes here and here, so when my 4x4 slides down into this area, I can put a couple screws in here on each side if I want to, and to hold that 4x4 there. Okay, we got our 2 bottom pieces done. 4x4s will slide right into those, and that gives it the back and forth stability. And we'll drill some holes here to keep this stability back and forth that way. We'll take these down to where we're going to set them up, and we'll put those down, and we'll put some 4x4s in her and finish her up. Okay, I made a little mistake. It won't take me long to fix it, but these 4x4s that I cut out of the ash wood are actually just shy of 4 inches. So what I found is I ended up grabbing 2 of the 4x4s. So they were white pine that were down here that I milled the other day. And I set them up on here, and that one end, I had to force it in there. So other end I'd have to force in, so I decided let's take and just shave a hair off with the mill, and then we will have this thing together. Just got to pop a couple more screws in it, and this guy will look good. Okay, so if you've watched my channel at all, you probably saw my pile of wood that was laying there, stickers and 2x4s, and they were constantly in the way. They were laying right in this area right here. So I just built a little bunk right next to here. It's still under cover, and I stuck my stickers to the left and my 2x4s and 4x4s that are scrap stuff to the right, so that we got a little bit organized down here. So now what I'm going to do is I grabbed 5 2x4s out of there. They're a little over 4 foot long, and I will put them on the bunk. Okay, that bunk is finished up. It took me a little bit more than half an hour, maybe because of recording too. And I did make that one mistake, which I had to plop that one 4x4 back up on the mill and shave a little bit off of it. Some of these I have before in the past. I've screwed the end ones down just so they don't move, but I've found that they don't move anyways. So this is a pretty solid base with this 4x4 here. That's plenty of support across there. As you can see, if you look up here, I've got some pretty big stacks of wood in the same situation, right? So that's a lot of, this is all 1x. It's white ash 1x, and that's stacked. It's close to 40 inches high. All right, we're gonna call that a wrap, and a little over half an hour we got a bunk together that we can start stacking wood on. So I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, give me some comments, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks for watching.